Right, we are back with Learning That Number podcast. Back again after last night, having a great chat with John from Virtual Rugby League. Ben, a tough win. Some might call it controversial, but 2 points either way.
Yeah, no controversy for me.
Well, I mean, the cock up with Shorts coming on early. I mean, there's a lot of talk about that, which I can understand.
No, yeah, it was a tough win. Definitely a lot of elements of luck, but how often does it happen to all sides? Luck's part of the game. If you win a grand final on luck, you've won a grand final. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop you. It doesn't mean any less. So.
We definitely won the 2020 grand final on luck with Ardeka missing kicks and the ball bouncing just right for Mr. Wellsby.
Exactly. So, the history book stayed the same. Like I said, 2 points is 2 points. But yeah, it was a tough win, that one. That was
and I'll give credit where it's due to Bradford. They turned up, the fans turned up, they made some noise, and on another day they'd have won that game.
Yeah, they played well. Decent style of rugby as well, throwing the ball around nicely. I thought we were pretty poor for most of the game, but I still think it's just to be expected. I think since some reactions to the game, and I just think people are just going so over the top. We all knew this was. We've had 3 years of decline, and you just don't fix it overnight. And
no,
the reality is there's still a lot of improvements needed to be, in my opinion, to be a champion team in the squad. And we're playing a new style of play. There's a lot of new lads as well, a lot of new signings, and a new coach, and so many news happening. I don't know what people kind of expect, that we just have a right to turn up because we're at home and just win games easily. Well, it's not kind of how it works. And as long as we're picking up those points, and as long as there are elements and there are signs and there's glimpses. I saw glimpses and I saw signs of some good play in that game. It wasn't like, if it was some horrendous performance, we wouldn't have won. And we wouldn't have scored the amount of points we did at the end of the day. So I think people need to cool down a bit. Like, I think some people kind of thought we'd be like peak Salford with some better players, and we'd just be Harlem Globetrotting our way to 40-point wins overnight. Me and you knew that wasn't going to happen. We talked about that. This is still a work in progress. So for a work in progress, it's still only a few games into the league season, I don't see any need to panic, really. Like, again, I don't mind at the game you're frustrated, because at the game I was very frustrated. But then you reflect, don't you? You cool down, wake up the next day, you might watch a bit of it back like I do, and then you're a bit more level-headed. So I don't mind lighting the ground if it's a little bit, a little bit heated.
This is why we don't do post-match reactions, because you're not getting the full breakdown of what's going on.
But then I've still seen people, like days after, still moaning, griping. And I just really don't know kind of what they expect. I generally don't. For me, that's a good win. It's a tough win. It's a good win. And considering, according to some people on the internet, we have just played terribly at the start of the season. We've won every half of rugby apart from one.
Yeah.
The first half against Warrington is the only half of rugby that we haven't scored more points than the other team. So for a team that is playing terribly, it's not that bad, really, if you think about it.
If we're playing bad and still winning games, you asked.
Yeah,
and also it's the 2 points on the table.
The 2 point, and also if we're that bad, what are the teams we're playing then? How bad are they?
No. We've played Warrington, Lee, Catalan away, and a firing Bradford.
And let's not forget the injuries as well. Like, they're not. Of course, it's not like the be all and end all excuses, because Bradford had injuries too. Yeah. But we had so many. We had a full pre-season implementing a new style of play within the 13. Where about 5 of them are now not in it. That is going to have an effect. Obviously, it's key players. It's a lot of players in the forwards, in the props, which is where a game is won and lost. So, if we had a fully fit team, then I might be a little bit more concerned, even with the early days. But with those injuries, with how early it is, you just got to say good win for me. Like, good win.
Yeah.
Yes, we have to improve, but nothing's won. In a playoff system, nothing is won in March. At the end of the day, you have to be good enough.
Built in a day, was it?
Yeah,
Built
this
in.
is all just qualifying. If this is F1, this is qualifying, and the Grand Prix is September, and that's it at the end of
Yeah.
the day. So preparing yourself for that big race at the end, and I think we're making some decent steps forward. To be honest, I really do. I will say, what isn't going to help, considering how we're changing so much this season, and I know it's half forced on Rowley. It's kind of forced, but in a way, it's kind of not. Is the chopping and changing of the halfback combinations? We've already had 4, I believe, or I
Yeah.
think we've had a different one in every game because Lomax was injured in one of the games, so we've had a different one in every game. For me, I could kind of understand. Yeah, Saylor is better at fullback, and with Wellesby out, that is your best next fullback. But at the same time, I don't think it's helping us make those improvements when it's Lomax Hastings, Whitby Hastings, Sailor Hastings. We need to kind of just settle on a halfback pairing and just let that grow a bit now. Just keep it the same. That's the only thing I'd say. That's not going to help us in the attack, and I think that's why it's been a bit disjointed in attack as well. Is because we're chopping and changing those 6 and 7 combo a bit too much. So from now on, I just want to see that stay the same as much as possible, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to go back on what I've been saying as well with Sale about keeping him at 6. But listen, he's a sort of player that you don't want to shackle to one place. You want him running around and getting on the ball whenever he can.
He showed that, didn't he?
That's what I mean. Have him at fullback and get around a bit more.
Yeah, with the ball, he's so much better at fullback, and it does hide his defence more. Now, yes, there was a couple of moments where they did breach the line, and his defence was really poor. Like one of their tries, the barge over try that they scored in the second half, I think that was a shocker. He could have just wrapped the ball, and it shouldn't have been a try. But if you're a poor defender, you're more of a liability in the defensive line, because if the defensive line does its job,
backup, isn't it?
Yeah, a fullback is your last gasp. He shouldn't have to do that. A fullback,
if your defensive line, essentially, you know?
Yeah, if your defensive line does its job, the fullback shouldn't have to be making tackles. As you know, so yeah, we all know his defense isn't very good. But where would you rather have it? In the line where he's slipping off tackles every set, or he makes 1 or 2 blunders in an entire game? I think overall that's better. Only thing I'd say is now, despite the fact he didn't have a great game in the halves, Whitby, keep him there now. We need to just get a bit of consistency with the 1-6-7. Just keep Whitby there. Give him a chance to grow. He looked a bit, he didn't touch the ball much, which was a bit of a problem. Is that I think he touched the ball 4 or 5 times,
did
like in the game.
Kicking, didn't
and Jackson did most of everything, which is a bit of the problem. I think that I know he's the senior guy, he's the leader, but we need to find a way to get Whitby into that game a bit more if he does stay in that position next week, because he basically just wasn't there. It's basically Shorrocks and Hastings playing halfback for most of the game. So that's something to work on as well. Let's get Whitby in the game more and just keep him there. Let's not one bad game chop somebody up. Let's just give him 4 or 5 at least. Give him 6. Give him a good run where there's no excuses. Then they'll have enough opportunities to show that they deserve to be there.
Yeah, that's it. No, packing that up as well. I'm gonna go into this because it's caused bloody murder as well. The cards that were issued. Now, Clemmer, yellow card, contact with the head. There's no question about that. I've got no issue with that. But with was it Papolsky or whatever his name is, he didn't wrap the arms. It was a shoulder to the head.
It's high level force, I think to be fair,
Clemmer wrapped the arms as well.
I thought the ref got the card spot on. I generally do.
I've got no issue with it.
They explain it on the field as well. And I think if you watch it back, listen to the explanation, not in the heat of the moment, not in a stand in a stadium. Because I've done it the other way. Where I've thought a lot of our cards, what's he doing? And then you look back, you hear what he's actually said, and you go, oh, well, if that's the rule, that's the rule. It's not high level force for Clemmer. It stops it being a red. He said that on the field, and I don't think anyone can deny.
The tackle technique is used is spot on. It was just high.
Yeah. Yeah, and they talk about that level of force now in the rules. It wasn't high level force, simple as that.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone can deny the one on Delaney was the highest level of force a player can
Yeah, he's
possibly
led
use
with the
because he
shoulder, hasn't he?
absolutely walloped him. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think they were fine. I don't think there was a problem with him. And in fact, Bradford fans, the referee missed an absolute blatant yellow card for the hip drop tackle, which broke one of our players' legs, by the way.
Yes. Yep.
Which has been confirmed by the disciplinary panel because he got a 2-game ban. So a 2-game ban, that's at least a yellow. It maybe even could have been a red. So as much as we got things going our way in that game, let's not be completely one-eyed about it. You know, that was a big thing that the referee missed that went in Bradford's way as well, because that was a clear, awful hip drop tackle. And I can't believe it wasn't picked up by the video as well. It was so obvious on the screen.
I'll tell you something else as well. When Knowles did that to Mike Cooper, and it was a red card all day, you know what I mean? I'm not going to dispute that whatsoever, but you have people saying he should be banned for as long as Mike Cooper's injured for. I'm like, you having a bloody laugh?
No, we don't do that.
But no, where are they now, though? You know what I mean? Where are they now?
Yeah, and I completely, I think that's a load of rubbish, that it should be about the injury, because you could do just like a normal high tackle that isn't a shoulder, like your arm just goes up, it catches someone's chin, you break the jaw. But for a little slightly tapping someone's chin, like that can happen. You know, I just I don't think that's silly to start taking injuries into account.
So if you get the shoulder and you slide up, it's it's simple.
Yeah. Because then you also let players off for doing something really dangerous, and luckily the player's not been injured. They've got away with it. So you send the message then that try it again, because if they don't get injured, you get away with it. Let's not get into that. You know, let's not. That's a bit silly, I think. You know.
Yeah, and the Shark sin bin as well. I thought that was, when I've looked back at the tackle, I'm like, if that was the other way around, I'd be crying for a yellow card as well. So I've got no issue with that. And the ban as well. The ban's justified.
Yeah, it's a sin bin, it's a ban, but my God, I just wish there was a little bit of consistency, because one of my mates pointed this out to me.
Well, every year, 2 of our players gone down to hip drop tackles.
Yeah, well, every year there's some sort of focus in the rules. There's a rule change, or there's something happens, and then for the first 3 months, the refs absolutely nail it. People can remember the first 3 months a few years ago.
You had to put your foot on it, then that was
ball one year. There was the year of the obstruction, where everything was obstruction. There was the hip drop year a few years ago, where everything was a hip drop, and they nailed people on that. There was last year where everything to the head was a red card, and then they settle down a bit and they don't focus on it as much. The referees just need to stay consistent from point A to point Z every single year until a rule is changed again. And a shoulder charge is one. Shoulder charges are basically legal again now, unless you hit the head. Now, the rule is, even if you hit their arm, their chest, their leg, a shoulder charge by the rules,
as long as you look
illegal.
like you're wrapping the arms.
Yeah, but you see them all the time. I see them all the time. If they don't go high, if they hit them low, they're allowed. It's basically legalised in my view.
Yeah.
I've seen one. I think I saw one in last season where it was a low hit shoulder charge. That was actually given. It's the only one I can remember. And the referees need to be on top of this. Obviously you want to focus a lot on a new rule because it's a new rule. The players need to know, they need to get the message. But they don't start turning a blind eye. I know they're not deliberately turning a blind eye, but do you know what I mean? It feels like all of a sudden more things are let go. Loads of hip drops are let go now, as we saw. You know, we're in 2023. Oh my God, if you did it for a split second, you were off. It just needs to be the same. And it's a bit of a problem the RFL have got, and they do this every year with a new rule, and they just need to keep it the same for the players and for the fans every year from every game. So that's a bit of a gripe at the RFL, but you know, we all know there's a lot of problems there that we've gone over many times.
Yeah.
So
the other one was Sharks being allowed on with a minute or so still to go in the 10 minutes. But listen, now I'm seeing all sorts with saying the cheating. They got the RFL in the pockets. And it's all like, listen,
it's nothing to do with us.
It's not conspiracy. It's
it's an RFL. There is a match day commissioner. There is a fourth official. It's them. It's them that are in charge of those things.
And they've even come out and said
it's
our fault. Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing to do with us. And also, we didn't score for the extra a minute and a half he was on the
Didn't
field.
do
By
anything.
the
I
way,
don't think we were in possession of the ball for the time he was came back on.
Like, it's frustrating. And if he'd have come on and scored a winning try in the next 30
Yeah,
seconds,
I get that.
I get you.
That would be
I
a
get
lot
the
more
anger.
fucking frustrating.
I get the anger. But at the end of the day, like you said, nothing to do with us. And once again, it's the RFL, which I will wholeheartedly agree are not up to standard at the moment. And that's it. What do you want us to do about it? Like, should we start timing our own, timing our own sin bins so we can be nice and honest and tell the referee that we shouldn't be going back on, give over, like just be sensible for a second.
At the end of the day, he's going on the pitch, so he's going to start focusing on the game. He's not going to be looking at the screen.
No, not at all. He won't have even noticed what time he went off.
I mean, if anything, when he comes on, you've actually got the backs to the big screen, so they're looking forward.
RFL error, nothing to do with that. I mean, I've seen some people should they have the points taken off him? What?
How it didn't change the game whatsoever.
What? Didn't change the game, and also it's an RFL error, so you don't punish a team for a referee making an error.
Yeah,
like dear me, like what sort of can of worms would you open there?
There's a lot of tinfoil that's being won.
We live rent free in people's heads. They'll never recover from 4 in a row. These rival fans, a lot of them will never recover from that.
Especially Bradford, because they've never beat us in a final.
Yeah, that's
especially in Super League anyway.
Exactly. That all dominant Bradford team. At the end of the day, if they ever came up against Saints in a final, well, we all know what the result was every time. So it's all a bit about.
I'm not going to sit here and completely slag Bradford off because they did turn up. They gave us an hell of a game, and the fans were brilliant as well. So I think they do belong in Super League. That was the first proper test, and they pretty much passed it with flying colours in my opinion. Because they were in the game till the last 5 minutes.
Well, need to sort that stadium out, but that's another conversation.
That's not for us to sort out.
But then at the end of the day, you could go, well, if Cass are still in the league, their stadium's not much better. I mean, it is better, by the way. There is no worse stadium than Hodsall. But
it's been that long, I can't remember.
If you start playing that game about, judge. To be fair, it's meant to be criteria that we're judged on. It's meant to be part of these gradings facilities, and we've had this conversation. We're not going to fully get into it, but the facility Bradford actually get a top facilities grade, which is kind of. I mean, I don't know what you're judging if you give that a good facilities grade, but anyway, yes. In terms of what it should be about the rugby, they do deserve to be here when it comes to actually the thing that should matter at the end of the day. Haggerty's got them playing some really good, nice rugby as well. They like to throw that ball around. We need more teams like that. We need this meta that has dominated us since the days of Michael Maguire, of the wrestle, the 5 drives, the kick to the corner, the only throw it 10 metres out from the line. We need that to be dead, and we need more teams like us, like Bradford, like Warrington, to be fair, with how they've started. Let's get more of these type of teams that want to actually play some rugby. So that's a good addition to the league in that sense.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather cough up possession by trying something than just 5 up the middle.
Well, and that's another thing. That's actually another thing, as with all these moaners in our fan base. So it's not even a majority of them. It is a loud minority, but
small.
Last season, we'd have probably won that game with the old play the ball rule, and with how we were coached, we'd have probably won that 10-4. Would you rather have watched that grindy, horrible 10-4 game that we saw 20 times last season?
Yeah.
Or would you rather admit that you're not going to have the same level of defence, but score over 20 points in every game, which is at the moment kind of what we're doing? This is what the fans wanted, apparently. This is what we were all crying out for. This is what we're getting. It's not the best version of it, no, but this is what we wanted, isn't it? We're scoring points. Yeah. But naturally, you're going to ship more points.
But we're scoring more.
Yeah. So, not that our defence can't get better and we can't deal with the quick play the balls better. We can, but that game was more entertaining. That game was more entertaining than 90% of our games last season. Already. We've already had more entertaining games in 5 games than I think we had in all of last year. I don't think it's over the top saying that. I genuinely think already we've already seen a better value product on the field when Saints are on the field. So, I'm quite happy. Got to have some patience.
Yeah, and to finish off with that game, I want to point out Noah Stevens. Now, I've been, as you know, been a massive advocate for him getting a chance, and he got it, and he grabbed it with both of his bloody great big hands.
He was brilliant, wasn't he? Best
He
forward
was
on the
very,
field.
very good. Yeah.
And I like how that Rowley said afterwards, listen, it's nothing to do with performance. He's not been fit. He's in my team if he's fit. And I like how we give him that. That's a great thing for a lad like that to hear. You come back, you've been out niggly injury, you've been desperate to play, you play well, and then your coach goes, listen, when these injuries are back, he's still in my team. That's a great vote of confidence. It's really, really well done by Rowley to make those comments when he did, because that'll make him feel 10 foot tall. Yeah, he made. I think he made like a clean break at one point.
Well.
He did. He did at the stadium. Yeah, I think
got one of them. Yeah, he got one of them.
Sky one was a sailor. Yeah, he got sponsors. I think. But good meters. He made just under 100 per carry. I think was around 7-ish. Really good. Like about 5 tackle busts, a couple of half breaks. Really, really good. Like after so long out as well, you might forgive him being a bit rusty to get going with, not being match fit, but wow, he was brilliant. And Clemmer again, awesome once again. I mean, he has brought such stability to that pack.
Stevens, that's why I've been advocating for him.
Yeah,
they know what he's capable of.
Those two won us that game in terms of the territory, along with the Hastings, who had a very good game kicking as well once again. But Clemmer again, long minutes, 130 metres.
He spent 10 minutes off the pitch as well from the sin bin.
You know what I mean? That's what he gets you. Yes, he's not the explosive young forward when he was at Canterbury Bulldogs. He isn't going to maybe make as many breaks and tackle busts, but he can play long minutes and he will get you either close to 100 over 100 metres. And if that's what your starting prop gets you, that's like the basics ticked off of what you want. And he brings that consistency. And I'm really looking forward to when later in the season we can have Stevens, Lees, Walmsley and Clemmer as a 4 duo. Because that, when it's fit near the end of the season, is there's not much better. I don't think there's a better set of forwards. I'm going to actually put it out there. I don't think there's a better set of four props in any team has fully fit. I'm saying it. And that's going to be huge for us.
As well.
And obviously Delaney, so you've got 5. I mean, that's 5 top quality props. When they're all fit, we're going to be really hard to handle going up the middle. Really, really hard later in the season. Definitely.
Yeah. And that takes into this weekend. We've got Castleford away in the Cup. Looking at the squad here, there could be a debut or two. Jake Davis, Alvin Sinclair, and a young lad who we've seen quite a bit of in the reserves in the academy, Chris Matagi.
Yeah,
big imposing.
I've been
we'll see what he's capable of.
Yeah, I've been a cheerleader for Matagi for a while, to be honest. I don't always get him right, but he was one. I think when he was in his first year of the academy, I saw him have a very good game against Wigan, and I straight away I put my ticket on him. I thought, you know what,
he was a kid built like a bloke, wasn't he?
That's it. It's that physical side which can let so many great skillful players down when it comes to making the transition. He's got it already. He's a big bloke and he's only going to get bigger. He's that type of loose forward that I think as well Rowley will like, because he's a big physical loose, but he often played as a first receiver in the academy and does that for the reserves as well. So he's got that type of loose that Rowley likes to play with. I still think it's a little bit early for him to be getting a lot of games, but I would like this year.
I like to see him get 10 minutes.
Yeah, like if we have those games that don't matter as much, or we want to rest for a big cup game, or we're secured in the playoffs so we can't drop a place, whatever it is, in those type of games, if he could just be on the bench and get 10, 15 minutes here and there, I think that's the next step for him this season, just to see how he copes. I don't think he comes in at the weekend, but it's good that he's getting that experience in the match day squad now, because that's important for him to get used to how it feels to warm up, to be in that dressing room with the first team squad. And Sinclair and is thingy in it as well. Jake Davis.
Yeah.
Jake Davis, I'm a fan of too. I know, like, physically they want him. That's what I've heard anyway, is that they like him. They really like him. He just needs to, build himself up a bit physically. But I think he's a very good runner of the ball as a second rower. Sinclair is a very hard runner of the ball as a forward as well. I think one of those three, and I think one of those three will have to get some game time. So be interesting to see which way he goes with it, because there's a lot of options in that squad still. It's not quite obvious how it goes.
Considering the amount of players who are out, that's not a bad squad at all. Still,
not terrible, no.
You know what I mean?
It's a bit light in the light in the props a little bit.
Yeah.
And obviously Parsi is back.
Passes in there, yeah. So I heard he got injured playing for Salford.
Salford, yeah. But you know what? Listen, we've done the Parsi discussion to death.
Yeah.
He knows it's last chance saloon for him. And I don't think it's ever a lack of effort from him. I don't. I think it's unfortunate. I think it's I think that injury never fully recovered from back in 2023. I'll be backing him 100% if he does play, and I would love to be proven wrong, and I hope he has something left in him with like a point to prove, maybe, knowing that a lot of people will be writing him off, knowing that the coach doesn't see him as a first team player anymore. Maybe we see a big reaction from him. I'd love to see a big reaction from him. So we'll have to see how it goes.
Soon introduced into props as well.
He can. He's done it a bit there. He's
not row or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Wingfield as well. I've heard conflicting things of Wingfield, because some people have been telling me he's actually been fit the entire time and just not picked, and then some others have said, "Oh no, he's had a bit of a knock." It's one of those week by week jobs. So apparently now he is definitely fit. So it'd be interesting to see. Surely you'd expect he just goes straight in at loose. We'll see.
I won't mind that, to be fair. I won't mind it.
I'd like to see him get one last go as well.
Yeah, I think there's a good player in Wingfield. He's just had the worst luck with injuries.
Yeah. And
if he did have bad luck, he'd have none at all.
Yeah, it's another one. It's last chance saloon for him with this contract he's got, with the option in our favour. So he'll have a point to prove, and he's shown glimpses. So I'd love to hopefully see him play the next 2 or 3 games and just stay fit and just bring something,
Yeah. I mean, I think it depends on how the game's going. If we're comfortable after about an hour, then we might see some of these young players, if 1, 2, if not all of them. But
we'll see. It's not. None of them would be. I think Matagi is the only one where, because he's had no minutes. Probably not him. But the others have been in match day squads before, so they've got some experience there. They've had a few minutes here and there. So, you only know if anyone's good enough if they get on the pitch and play. So, we've got injuries. I'd say give them a chance. See how they do.
Yep. Every one of those established players have been given a chance for the same reason.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. And another name on there who apparently is now fit is Matt Percival, who's finally put an end to the speculation. Rowley came out and said, "Listen, Matt Percival's staying." He said it weeks ago. Yet there's still chatter about it. There you go.
Yeah. The way it went down was unfortunate.
12 hours after we finished, they announced it.
As always. But yeah, the way it went down was unfortunate, with people sticking the nose in where it wasn't wanted, in the wrong areas, the wrong platform. And our fans went, again, really weird at times, some of them. I need to stop looking at stuff online, because if you speak to the average fan at the game, they're nothing like the online fans. Most people don't live online. I think that's a bit of a mistake I make, and I need to just kind of maybe step away from some of it.
The best one I seen was, suppose Saints fans owe John Wilkin an apology now. I'm thinking, what for? He owes an apology for spouting it.
Signed a new contract. Anyway, Mark has done the right thing, and he's kept it private the entire time. I'm sure in the future, on a podcast when he's retired, he'll give the actual full story.
Maybe this one.
You know, he hasn't come out. He's not leaked comments to the agent of the press. There's been no journalist. You know, he's kept quiet. He's dealt with it. He's dealt with his frustrations. He's dealt with it in the right way. We've come to an agreement. We move on now. This is it.
There you go.
And considering how much McDonald's been struggling, because obviously the last 2 games he started and then gone off straight away.
And
apparently, apparently physios say he's fully fit, but he keeps getting a dead leg on that leg constantly. Yeah, keeps getting a dead leg early in a game. So
he's not fit.
Now that Percival's back. Yeah. Now that Percival's back, that's massive. Yeah. I will say though, it'd be interesting to see how McDonald's has gone on this week, because our main problem defensively for me was cross at centre. So in an ideal world, Percival would just come in for cross at centre. That's what I would choose to do. But it might be that we have to be sensible with McDonald and just give him a break, give him a week off. You know, took his try well, Cross, don't get me wrong. He offers something near the line.
We didn't try, would he?
But there were some real poor defensive reads. And it's why I've always said if he does ever have to play, he's a winger for me. He's not a centre.
Yeah.
I was willing to, I have changed my opinion on that, because I thought he had some decent centre appearances at Salford. But for me, after seeing what I've seen now, he's a winger, and it would be nice if we could just put Percival in at centre and shore that up defensively. Because he is a better defender, definitely.
Right. So, part that up, and some news sort of broke. Well, I'll say it broke. It was he mentioned on the podcast that he's 99% sure he's going to retire at the end of the season. Mr. Tommy Makinson.
Yeah.
Joe, it feels like he's been around forever because he was so young when he broke through. It was 2011.
Yeah, he was very young. 2011, yeah. I mean, I remember his first game, which is kind of making me feel old now.
His ass when he got his debut.
You know what I mean? I like, for people that don't know, I'm a little bit younger than Gaz. I know he's got the looks, but I am a little bit younger than him. And he's probably had this already, but it's a bit weird for me because I'm now finally at that age where I'm like, I've seen players' entire careers now, which has not happened to me yet. And apparently it doesn't get any easier as well, according to my dad. My dad said that does not get any less weird. He said, wait until they start head coaching. That's when you'll start to feel old.
That's the one that's done me. Because like players who have grew up watching, like Wellens, Lee Radford, Sam Burgess, Joe Tompkins, they're all coached. I'm like, what?
Yeah, you're like,
mortality.
It's a mad. He's had such a long, great career. He's done it all. He's won it all. For me, he's our best winger in Super League history. I know. There's some great wingers. I know. For me, he has everything.
Definitely the best English one.
You know, I put him. He's definitely the top two. I put him at the top. I just think he's got absolutely everything. We've had players that have had electric pace, like Grace, like Albert. You know, think people like that. We've had players that are strong. You know, Gardner was extremely strong. For me, Tommy had everything. I mean, obviously when he got a bit older, he slowed down. But when he was younger, he was rapid. He was fast. He was strong. Great ball carry. I mean, has there ever been a winger who has started a set better? You knew when that kick went through, that exit set happened on our line, Tommy Makinson was going to dent that line and get the ball rolling. Like, you know, when you had him, then you had Percival. It was just, you know, that was such a key to our success in the time he's been here. Is the way you could get us on the front foot from being pinned right in the corner to being on halfway in the blink of an eye. And he's, you know, like I said, when he was younger, great pace, great acceleration, a great step near the line, just finding those tiny gaps. How many times did he score an impossible Makinson try? It just became the possible Makinson try in the end. He did it that often. Acrobatic finishes, you know, in the air, great attacking the high ball, scored some. He does everything defensively. There's not an element of a winger's game Tommy Makinson didn't have. I can't say any more than that. He had everything.
And there's a couple of Tommy moments of earmarked. One of them is that try in his entire game in that 2014 final. He had Josh Charlie in his pocket the whole game.
And let's not
Somehow,
forget, he moved to fullback early in that
Yeah.
game after what
Yeah.
happened to Ohio. He's not a fullback at all. And yet they had a clean break, which probably would have won them the game had it been scored at that point in the game. He's getting turned inside and outside by Farrell. His balance is everywhere. His feet are all over the place. And he still makes the tackle.
yeah.
And he still makes the tackle. It's one of the best tackles you'll ever see. Like, it's my
The
favourite ever
mad
tackle
thing
in a
is,
game.
with that game, even though we were man up for 78 minutes, they were still finding an overlap on Charlie's wing. And Tommy just was putting out fires all the way
Well,
through.
like I said, you know, it was equalised by the fact we had no halfbacks. We had Mark Flanagan as a scrum half. We had Tommy Makinson as a fullback. Paul Wellens as whatever Paul Wellens was doing in that game. He was just everywhere. Like, no actual. We had no attack. We just did 5 drives and a kick for basically the entire game because we had nothing. We couldn't do anything.
We had no option. Yeah,
we had no option. And defensively,
that at one point.
He did, he did. Great defense by Makinson. Game saving on Farrell and then scoring as well at the other end. Just that was like the coming of age for me of him. Like, he was already a good player, but then after that, going into the mid 2010s, into those early 2020s, it's just like the graph is like that when you look at how good he got. It was like a rocket was lit under him in that grand final. Just brilliant from then on.
And scoring that winning try as well, which I listened to the podcast earlier with them two, and he says it depends who you listen to, whether it's him or Wellens, but one of them said do this and one of them said do the other. And apparently he said, just put the kick up, I'll get it. And I mean, he had no right scoring that try. He had absolutely no right scoring it, but he somehow got his arm over the line and just put the ball down.
Yeah. And I remember it. I have a vivid memory of being in my seat and seeing that ball hit the ground, just seeing that arm.
Yeah, it was right in front of me.
And I'll never forget it. Never forget that.
That was probably up until the 2020 grand final where Wellesley scored that try. That's probably the biggest eruption you've ever had at a rugby game.
Yeah. And of course, in the 2020 grand final, an assist for Wellesby's try.
I'd love to find out from the horse's mouth what was going on through his mind there.
Yeah, like yes, no, yes. It's probably
no, yes.
Yeah. I remember early on, like, knowing that he'd really, because I remember he struggled a little bit when he first came through because he didn't have the physical side yet. He was a really young lad.
Yeah.
In 2011 when he played some games, and the criticism was, amazingly, it's very ironic that the criticism was that he didn't carry the ball well enough when he first came through because he was too small. He got dominated. He got pushed back. And if you remember, when we had the change in coaches, Melly and Gardner were put back on the wing by Rush and at the time.
Well, he got it because Gardner was injured, wasn't he?
Yeah, and it was because as well we just weren't having anything. We were getting pinned down in the corner. We had Makinson, Foster, who were just giving us nothing, like from the exit sets. And 2012 comes, and for a moment we put those two on the wing. The old heads who were big and strong and make the meters. But I remember there was a game later in the season, and it was against, I believe it was against Leeds, and he scores an incredible try in that game. Where I think it's still online somewhere on YouTube. Where I think it's the first Makinson miracle, as I call them, where he's in the air and he puts the ball right in the corner. And there's a great video from a Leeds fan point of view filming in the crowd, the screen, and even the Leeds fans are like, "Oh my god, how has he scored that?" And I remember that when that try, that game, he looked already. You could already see he looked a bit stronger. He was more confident. His carries were better. Then he caps it off with a acrobatic try in the corner, and from then on, he just gets all those slight negatives when he came through. They were almost gone overnight. He just becomes like a first team winger so quickly.
Yeah.
Like it's incredible how quickly he just adapted to a slightly rough 2011 to, and don't get me wrong, he was still very good in 2011 because for a lad in his first season. but he just became like he just became even better. Like all of us, like how quick he did it as well. And yeah, the amount of you can look at Tommy Makinson try compilations, the amount of incredible tries he scores in the corner, in that corner post, have a great relationship because he puts, it's just incredible. So many memories of Tommy.
I can remember one. I can't remember who they were playing or what year it was or anything like that, but I just remember the commentary on it, and it was Steve O. They'd gone back to the showing the replay.
Yeah,
he's a freak, this kid. I was like, oh, yeah, you're not wrong.
You're not wrong. He was a freak.
Yeah. And the other one for me, the 2017 Magic Weekend, where he just beat the entire Hull FC team to the try line.
Exactly. He was underrated. He underrated his pace. He wasn't like as fast as your Alberts and Graces, but he when he got going, he had some pace on him when he got going. He was a quick lad for a long time.
Yeah, he was quick after that, wasn't
he? Yeah, only until the last couple of years, really, which is natural because of like the age he's getting to. It's completely normal. So, that was a great one. That was like
Golden Boot.
Yeah, Golden Boot as well. Some great performances for England.
How many English players get that?
And some really good performances for England. Just really surprised he never went over.
Yeah, it was a series against New Zealand, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
He just New Zealand series, full of tries.
And I'm genuinely shocked he never went over to the NRL, not even for one year.
Yeah.
But he was one that
loss was our gain.
He'd have killed it in his prime. He'd have killed it. He'd have killed it in his prime over there. We all know he would have. But yeah, that's a great shout for that 2017 one because like he's synonymous with like that. Essentially, is the start of
that was Tommy Makinson in a nutshell. That try, wasn't it?
Yeah, but that's essentially the start of where 4 in a row comes from. That period of success. It starts with
building the foundations.
It starts with that game because Holbrook wasn't like fully in charge. He was appointed, but he obviously hadn't taken the team yet. Or it's the first one of the two, and we'd come off that awful run in 2017 at the start of the season, and then that was the game. That was the moment where we come very close in 2017. We win a trophy in 2018 and come close again. And it all comes down to that. That's the game that starts it all, and he plays a big part in that. Wherever you look, from his start of his Saints career to the end, all those big moments, he's synonymous with so many of them. He's there. He's in it. Wherever you look throughout Saints history in the last like 12 or so years, it's Tommy Makinson is there. Like, no matter where you look, and that's just sums up his contributions, doesn't it? I think.
Yeah, and I think that game made up the mind of, arguably the best fullback in the world at the time, Ben Barber, to come to us. Like we said last night, if it weren't for his off-field antics, he would never have come over here. Once even thought about it, but
no,
it's what convinced him to choose us over Warrington.
Yeah, thank God we got him over Warrington as well.
We'd never heard the bloody end of it, would we?
I know they'd have probably won the league that year. So thank God
every year.
As always.
Yeah. Like, what do you make of this, Ben? They're on about putting a salary cap in the Championship to give the clubs a better chance.
I'm confused.
It doesn't make a difference, does it?
I'm confused because I thought there always was a salary cap in the Championship.
So, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I'm pretty sure there is something.
I
don't know. Yeah, there's something in place. They definitely can't spend freely. I'm absolutely sure. So I got this up. So there is already some sort of cap because it mentions the Championship salary cap is measured retrospectively where appropriate. Okay, right, I see. So there isn't a real-time cap. There isn't a real-time cap. That's what it is. So basically what happens is at the end of the season, apparently, whether they actually do this properly or not, they have to demonstrate that their spend was below the salary cap. So they only have to prove it afterwards. Whereas in our league, you have to do it as you go in. Like it's investigated all year that you have to prove you're under it. The Championship is just
that's why FC allowed to go into that market now because of Liam Knight going back home.
So I get it now. So this basically means that rather than finding out at the end of the year that loads of clubs have gone over and it's, you can punish them, but you can't punish them for that season anymore. They want to make it a live cap, I'm guessing. So that means it's the same as Super League, where you have to demonstrate you've got the funds as and when you spend it.
Yeah.
Which
So
is
we
what it
must
should
be
be.
well
I'm
under
very
when we got that,
surprised.
because Bay wouldn't have been on buttons.
No, not at all. I think, do we have marquee rules back then? If we did, I think we might.
I think we did, but it might have been like 1 or 2.
Listen, the salary cap's so. If you get into it, you could do a university degree on the rugby league salary cap, because there's so many like bylaws and dispensations you get for homegrown players, and I think like there's something like, I think that if rugby union players come over or something, you get some money off that too. There's all sorts of weird rules in there. I don't like to think about it because it makes me head hurt. But
Yeah.
but yeah,
It's more
the
effort
cap should
worth
be
it.
managed the same. I don't know why they're not managed the same. So if that's the case, then yeah, good rule. I don't know why that's not the case already. It's a bit weird that it's not.
Yeah.
So yeah, that seems sensible, I guess.
Yeah. And I've just seen now Saints tried the Monthly's sailor against Warrington.
Yep, very good try. That's it. That's a
Yep.
not an easy one, actually. We just scored some good tries this month, but yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah. Surprise, surprise. Bevan French is out for a long period of time once again, and he'll be come back at the right time.
Yeah, but like I said, it
gives us half a chance in a derby now, doesn't it?
Yeah, like I said, the only other thing, what matters really, what really matters, winning the playoffs and the Good Friday derby and beating Wigan in general. Yeah. So, yes, all right, it doesn't matter come the end of the season. Although who knows, it's not easy to come back from those type of injuries. But at the end of the day, it will help us in really the only regular season game that really matters is the ones against Wigan, if you break it down. So don't like to wish any player ill will or anything like that. But obviously, it is good for us.
Wish him all the best.
I am absolutely certain Field will be fit for Good Friday. I don't buy for a second he's going to miss that game. I do not buy that for a second. People saying, "Oh, they're both out for good. They're both out for Good Friday." We'll see. I don't think Field will be out for Good Friday, from what I've heard. Anyway, it'll be close, but I think
French is the main man, though.
Yeah.
You know what happens when he's.
Oh yes, no. French is the main man by far, the most important. Field's a really good supporting guy. He takes advantage of the space that French creates. But French is the one that creates that in the first place.
As good as Fairmont is for his age, he's not that type of player. At least not yet.
No, a good young player, definitely, but not that level. Not many people are, to be fair. They're not having a go.
Do you know what I mean? Bevan French is the biggest surprise to me that's actually committing to Super League for an Aussie player. I'm surprised they've not been queuing up for him.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, he's getting paid a lot of money, which, it is right. They are right to do that to keep him. But, the last time...
It shows all the young players they bring through as well.
Yeah, the last time they negotiated the recent contract he signed, I know, and I do know this for a fact. There were NRL clubs going for him. Wigan's offer was better, believe it or not. They broke the bank. They are breaking the bank for that man and the marquee rule.
I don't blame them.
Yeah, and I don't blame them at all.
If he was at Saints, I'd do the same thing.
Yeah. Absolutely, and if any club does come in with like a real silly offer from the NRL, they're going to get a hefty transfer fee if that ever happens now. So, play the blinder on that one. Yeah, very good, very good. Yeah.
And on the opposite end of that spectrum, Zach Lomax joining Rugby Union Australia.
Yeah, after I
love James Graham's reaction. Don't bullshit me, mate. As if he's always wanted to play for the Wallabies, because he fucking hasn't.
Yeah.
He won't be playing league, would he?
Listen, when we talked about the ridiculous, rugby 7:30, 4:20, 5:10, whatever nonsense, and basically he's been poorly advised by an agent, and he's made a very big mistake, and now he's having to pay for it. He was chasing the money, and now, because he basically can't play in the NRL because no club is going to pay the money that they'd have to pay Parramatta for that to happen, which is right. Any club that paid that to get them in this year would be nutters, absolute nutters
Yeah.
to do that. He's now just
They're
going
not daft over there, are they? Let's
somewhere
be honest.
else. Yeah, he's now just going somewhere else for a couple of years where he can just earn silly money, and I'm sure
Yeah.
he'll be back as soon as he can with a top NRL offer in 2 years. You know,
Aye.
a bit of a mercenary for me.
Yeah, he's
Because remember, they're not getting paid
I think
peanuts
he's
in
a
the
bit
NRL.
crap, to be honest.
Let's not
I used to
forget.
respect him as a player, but
Yeah, let's not forget. It's not like the money they get over here. Like, of course, there's some marquees that get a lot of money, but the salaries they get over there are ridiculous. They are so much. He wasn't poor. Let's put it that way. It wasn't like, oh, you got to look after yourself. He was getting looked after. He was already getting looked after. Just for me, mercenary greed. That's
Yeah.
what I think about it. And yeah, he's now found a new dream of playing for the Wallabies, even though most of Australia doesn't give two shits about the Wallabies. So it's an interesting one. But
That's a conversation for another day, the way that's going.
yeah.
I mean, that's a conversation for a different podcast, actually. Foot Union.
Yeah. The Kick and Clap
Challenge
podcast.
predictions, Ben. Let's have a laugh. Let's see.
Do it for a laugh. Obviously, it's not
I've
part
got
of the
them.
Our League stuff. So
Yeah.
we just do this just to see who gets the most right this week. Yeah, simple as that.
I've got them up here. So,
Yeah.
Wakefield and Leeds. I mean, I think Leeds are going to win that one.
You know what? I'm going to go Wakefield.
Oh.
I'm going to go Wakefield. I thought Cash showed signs that there are some weaknesses in Leeds and couldn't take advantage of them. Wake, you're at home. They're a team that's on the up. They're growing. Yeah, I think they might catch them out. I'm going to put my neck out and say Wakey in a tight game, very close game.
Fair enough. Wigan Bradford now. From what I saw on Saturday, and from the two main men out, I think Bradford might actually have a fucking go at them.
I think if Bradford were at home, I'd say yeah. Wigan's record at their stadium, no matter what type of no matter what players are on the team sheet, they barely ever lose at home, no matter who's playing. So I think they will win. But Toulouse put 16 on them. The two best players are out. Don't think it'll be a walkover. They've got to fight for it. I think again, two score game. I go for that one. But I think it's home form wins them.
Yeah, so they're the Friday games. Saturday we've got York and Keighley. I think York kind of walked that one.
Yeah. York will win that quite comfortably. Hopefully they don't rest too many though and fall into that trap, because if they do, it could bite them a little bit. But I think they should have enough no matter what, really.
Yeah. Gould Vikings versus Warrington.
Yeah. Well, I think.
Can we be knobheads and just say Gould?
I think it's going to be a clear win for Gould. They're a better team.
I know you tried to say that with a straight face, then, Ben.
I tried. I couldn't do it. I was going to try and keep that up for that now. Warrington will win by about 60 or 70. Unless they rest a lot of players, then maybe it's like 30-40. I don't know. But yeah.
But again,
Gould won't mind.
He's out injured as well. That's sort of.
Oh, and another game that's been reversed. Another game that's been reversed to Warrington, by the way, for Warrington.
Oh,
again in the Challenge Cup, their two away games have been two home games.
Oh, are they playing at
so
Jones now?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. I'm sure I saw something in the news about it that it got reversed again. So who's really in the RFL's pocket, lads?
Corrupt, yeah.
Who's really there?
Huddersfield and OKR. I don't see anything more than a walloping, to be honest.
It's a walloping. I agree. Yeah. It's a KR walloping, that one. Poor Huddersfield and the 10 fans. They're not going to have fun.
This one could be interesting. Two teams who are not quite what they were, Lee and Hull FC.
And had bigger expectations as well. Hull FC especially had expectations of being a lot better that we've not seen at all yet. Lee are the other ones that have kind of gone backwards. Like from the last couple of years, from what we've seen, both with a point to prove. This is the hardest one to call. I'm gonna go Lee.
Yeah, because they're at home.
Yeah,
I think if Hull are at home, they might win it. But Lee, because they're at home.
Yeah, I agree.
Cass and Saints, as we said last night, we don't know what's going to happen here. We could be a couple of points in it either way.
Tight Saints win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think this could be another a whitewash, to be honest. Catalan, because they're at home against Oldham.
Yeah. I think if they'd have had to go away to Oldham's pitch, and with how low on confidence Catalan have been at times, although obviously they managed to get a bit of that back last week, it might have been a bit horrible for them. I think recently they had a Challenge Cup game against Oldham, didn't they? That didn't go entirely their way last year or the year before, or something like that. But yeah, I think at home. Yeah, I think at home though, good win last week. Yeah, I think this could be a bit of a walloping. Bit of a walloping.
You don't want to see it, but it's just the reality of it, innit? No disrespect to Oldham.
That's it.
Well, I think that's it, man. I think that's everything covered.
Yeah, almost an hour entirely.
Let me just have a little noser. I mean, I would look on Love Rugby League, but they just recycle the same old shite.
No, it's a horrendous website, that.
You know what I mean? The boys saying that Mark Percival's extended his contract, and they're still saying the speculation on there.
What they like.
Brain dead. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything here. Nothing breaking. Unless Saints are saying something. Which are probably not, because they're bloody open half at time. No, nothing up there since the try the month and out. So yeah, I think that'll do us. Big thank you to everyone supporting. If you get a chance, go and check out the one with Jonathan Fletcher Rugby League from last night. That was a good chat with him.
It's a cracking one.
And there may be a little surprise on the way soon. Nothing set in stone, but potentially is happening.
Keep listening out.
See about that. And just keep liking everything, keep commenting, whether it's good or bad. We take it all in our stride. Tell your friends about us if they're into rugby league or especially Saints, and we appreciate everything you do. So thank you very much. We're back next week.
Thank you.